Hey, Carnivore Hunters, it's Rick. I just recently, in the last month or so, got into a new hobby. I got into 3D printing. So I got the Anycubic Cobra S1. It's enclosed, and I've been having a blast with it. And so I want to share some prints with you, and I'm going to give you some tips that nobody else tells you about. I had to learn the hard way. So I want to start with this first one just because it's kind of fun. And let me explain too, a lot of people I know that are getting into 3D printing like to print these little figurines. And I'm a nerd, but I'm not that big of a nerd. I want to print more practical stuff that you can use around the house. You can use at camp. You can use for hiking, hunting, and everything else. So this first one is one of my favorites so far. It's not my design, but it's a bird feeder. And you just unscrew the top, fill up your seed, and then I'm just using a regular twine to hang it. So this will be going in a tree outside. I think I might print a few more of these. This was, as you can see, fairly big though. And it took, total printing time was 22 hours. It's also my longest print, but very happy with the way that turned out. And speaking of practical, something else I want to do is try to freshen up the house. And so I've printed some switch plate covers, and I used a multicolor filament so it kind of naturally changes colors, especially when you get to this part that's kind of rising out of the plate. I've got this hanging in the man cave downstairs, and I printed a couple extra, either for sale or for friends. I've already given a couple away. That was another fun print. And then I'm just printing some plain ones. So I've replaced all the switch plates, almost all the switch plates on our main floor with different greens and browns. We like earth tones in our house, so that's what we've been using. So this is a really cool print as well. Now, hard lessons learned. When you're looking at your prints, you need to think about size. Size matters. Size matters. I printed out a couple different style phone holders. The problem with these are they work great. You can lean your phone up at, kind of while you're eating breakfast or whatever. My wife likes to watch reels or watch news or something while she's eating her breakfast. But as you can see, if you got a protective cover, it doesn't fit. Actually, this one does fit well. The one I printed for my wife, this piece was too short, and so it just kind of sits on there and didn't really hold it. But there's many varieties of that you can find out there. And so size matters, I just said, right? So I printed out a bunch of these, and what it is it was supposed to be a toothpaste squeezer, similar to this one. It's kind of in the shape of a flip-flop. That one's kind of cute. But if you notice, the slit on this one is much shorter and won't fit on a tube of toothpaste. So if you're new to printing, these are things you need to think about. And a lot of times there will be a description and comments from different users about the file. But one thing people are pretty bad about is not putting dimensions. So when you go to upload a file into your slicer, look at the little squares. I'm not sure. I think those might be 5 millimeters each. I'm not sure. But do some measuring on your own ahead of time if you have to. So I printed out a bunch of these that are useless. I might be able to find another use for them for maybe some creams or something that come into a tube. But that would be another tip. If you're not sure how the print is going to turn out, maybe print a test and then stop, right? And so, which I wish I had done with this next one. So this is for a European mount. And I printed 4 of these, and this particular one in my hand right now, when I went to hang it, now that light, let me turn the slide off. The Euro mount was too much, and this broke. And I was like, oh man, not happy with the print at all. So I took this second one and I broke it on purpose. And I think part of the problem with this one, you guys can't see that. It looks like it was in about probably a 15, maybe 20% infill. I didn't pay attention when I went to go print it. But I was really discouraged. I thought about beefing this up, and I thought, no, I'm going to see if I can find another one, which I did. And I wound up finding this one. And you could see this one is much sturdier. Like I cannot break that at all. And so I printed off several of these. And as you can see, this guy right here, he's my latest. He's from last season. But I changed out all the Euro mounts because I made some makeshift Euro mounts that they were kind of crappy. This is a lot cleaner, nicer looking. And with this one, I did pay attention. I believe this was a 15 or 20% infill as well. I went 100% because I don't want these things falling on the ground, because this middle guy right here, I don't know if you can tell from back there, his nose is kind of busted up because he has been dropped a couple of times. And so I wanted to make extra sure. And it's got this little rest for the bottom to rest on. So it takes some of the tension off of here, I think. But another one I did was this. This is supposed to be a phone cord charger organizer. And as you can see, it's kind of small. So this is another one. I printed out like 4 of them, and it's useless because the first one I went to assemble, you're supposed to kind of put this in here, put your cord, halfway in between, and then you kind of snap the little fork into that. And the first time I did that just snapped. It broke. So I'm sure maybe if I'd have done a bigger infill again on this, it might have worked better. But it's also really small. So I wound up finding this one, and you can see there's quite a difference. I think this one will probably hold about a 3-foot cord. So I found 2 different styles of ammo holders. This first one is 9mm. It's pretty sturdy, but I still feel like I should have done a bigger infill with this as well. I just need to be careful with this one. And same story with this one. I really love this one. The way it turned out, it holds my 7mm Remington mag. So that turned out. I'll be printing several more of these for sure. But this is the kind of stuff I'm going to start printing out. If you guys see anything you like, hit me up and we can talk. 1,000 kilograms of filament goes from, I think the cheapest I paid is $17 on up to like $30. So, we'd have to talk price, of course, but just hit me up in the comments if you like any of these. Maybe we could work something out. Have a good one, and we'll talk to y'all later.